You are a slave to your thoughts. If you can change your thoughts, you will change your life. Marcus Aurelius. Each day, your mind is like a radio tuning into various different stations. Imagine that your brain generates around 60,000 thoughts daily. Yes, you read that correctly, 60,000 thoughts. What's concerning is that a significant portion of these thoughts are silent intruders that without our awareness can influence our feelings, actions, and reactions to the world around us. According to scientific research, approximately 70% of these thoughts tend to be negative. These are known as negative automatic thoughts, or NATs. Why does this happen? From an evolutionary perspective, our ancestors needed to be more alert to dangers and threats in order to survive. This negative bias, the tendency to pay more attention to the negative than the positive, became ingrained in our psychology. However, here's the paradox of the modern world. While these thoughts were essential for escaping predators in the past, now, in a world where such threats are rare, these negative automatic thoughts, NATs, can become harmful. Instead of being beneficial, they immerse us in doubts, insecurities, and fears. So as we move forward on this journey, it's crucial for you to understand the following. You are not alone in this. We all face these silent intruders. However, there are ways, as we will see in the following chapters, to confront them and transform this mental station to play more harmonious and positive melodies. Keep reading until the end, as I will share a series of practical exercises that can be applied in your daily life. The shadow behind you. Imagine yourself in the center of a well-lit room with a dark and sinister shadow cast on the wall behind you. Even though you don't see it directly, you are aware of its presence. This situation mirrors what negative automatic thoughts, or NATs, do in our minds. They are constantly present, silently influencing our behavior and our perspective of the world, just like that shadow that, although not immediately visible, alters the entire environment around it. In the vast field of psychology, experts emphasize something fundamental. Each and every one of us, without exception, confronts these thoughts. It is essential to understand that while some of us experience these shadows occasionally, for others, they become a constant presence, a burden that is hard to bear. And what happens when these shadows become an unwelcome guest who is always there? The consequences for our state of mind and our daily life can be devastating. Renowned psychologist Paz de Roda describes NATs as short, spontaneous, and sudden messages that our mind generates. They are not messages we consciously construct, they simply appear. Even though many of these thoughts lack a real basis, we tend to attribute complete credibility to them. And here lies the danger. By allowing these thoughts to occupy space in our mind, they have the power to trigger a range of detrimental emotions, such as anxiety, guilt, anger, shame, sadness, and disappointment. Furthermore, these negative thoughts can trigger physical symptoms such as headaches, palpitations, fatigue, and insomnia. However, the effects don't stop there. They extend to our actions, resulting in inappropriate behaviors like avoidance, insecurity, and indecision. These thoughts can even undermine our self-esteem and cause conflicts in crucial areas of our lives. Imagine having impaired performance at work due to constant irritability provoked by these thoughts. The impact of negative thoughts is akin to that of a small meteor, which, though it may seem harmless, wreaks dramatic havoc in our lives. If we believe that we won't be selected for a job because we have nothing valuable to offer, this belief becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy. Consequently, we act in ways that confirm that initial fear. Now, where do these shadows in our minds come from? The answer is multifaceted. It can be a natural predisposition, the result of the influence of role models who tend to react with negativity or even past traumatic experiences. Additionally, individuals with high levels of self-demand, a need for approval and excessive control are also prone to these negative thoughts. The first step to confront them is to acknowledge them. As we move forward, we will explore together how to combat and transform these negative thoughts, these shadows that loom behind us. Stoic teachings on the mind. Throughout the centuries, the human mind has been the subject of study and fascination. However, there was a group of ancient philosophers, the Stoics, who navigated these waters with unparalleled clarity and wisdom. The Stoics didn't see the mind as an enemy, but as a powerful tool. They understood that our thoughts and emotions are not inherently good or bad, but depend on how we interpret them. They argued that while we cannot control external events, we have the power to control our reactions to them. According to Stoic philosophy, suffering is not the result of the facts themselves, but of the way we interpret them. One of the most well-known maxims of this philosophical school, originating from the Stoic sage Epictetus, tells us that it is not things that disturb people, but their opinions about things. In other words, the power lies in our perception. Another notable Stoic, the Roman emperor and philosopher Marcus Aurelius, wrote that the happiness of your life is determined by the quality of your thoughts. Therefore, he encourages us to carefully monitor what we allow into our minds. This simple statement is a call to take control of our minds and our lives. Instead of being victims of negative automatic thoughts, we can become masters of our perception and emotional response. However, Stoicism does not imply the denial of emotions, but the understanding and proper management of them. As Seneca, one of the most influential Stoic philosophers, expressed, "It is not because we do not have feelings, but because we do not act upon them." These lessons are timeless. They remind us that while we cannot avoid negative thoughts and emotions, we have the capacity to control how we react to them. Instead of being carried away by the stream of the mind, we can learn to navigate it with mastery and determination. With the wisdom of these great philosophers in mind, I invite you to explore the essence of Stoicism and its practical application for managing our thoughts and emotions. The internal struggle of beliefs and values. Imagine that your mind is fertile ground where seeds are planted daily. These seeds are our beliefs and values and are crucial because they determine how our mental garden will grow. If we plant seeds of fear, doubt, or negativity, that is what will flourish. But if we cultivate seeds of love, trust, and positivity, our mental world will be dominated by these qualities. Our beliefs are powerful, serving as the program that guides the functioning of our mind. If we believe that we are not good enough, that life is unfair, or that bad luck always accompanies us, that will be the reality we construct for ourselves. On the other hand, if we believe in our own worth, in opportunities, and in the ability to learn and grow from every experience, our path will be filled with light and possibility. In this context, if beliefs are the software, values represent the programming we choose to follow. They are the principles and standards we set to guide us in life, indicating what is important, how we prioritize things, and how we react to different situations. Even the most deeply ingrained beliefs and values should be periodically questioned. Socrates, although not a Stoic, left us with an essential maxim: know thyself. It is crucial to review and, if necessary, adjust our beliefs and values to ensure they remain relevant and serve us in our personal development. The congruence between our thoughts, feelings, and actions is the foundation of an authentic life. By understanding and aligning our beliefs and values, we create an internal compass that guides us through the challenges and joys of life. Furthermore, in doing so, we enhance the quality of our thoughts and build a resilient and fertile mental landscape. However, understanding and managing our beliefs and values is just the beginning. In the next chapter, we will explore a powerful tool that helps us positively transform our mindset. Have you ever felt trapped in a cycle of negativity? Well, it's time to turn on the light and discover how a positive mindset can be your guide in challenging situations. Before we continue, I want to invite you to join our Stoic community. Together, we can explore the principles of Stoicism and find the inner strength to face life's challenges. Just click the subscribe button below and be a part of this journey of self-discovery. Join us and let's grow together. From darkness to light, the positive mindset. A positive mental attitude is like the dawn, bringing light to the darkness. It's not just about thinking positively, but cultivating a positive mindset toward life and its challenges. It involves seeing the glass as half full, focusing on solutions, and believing in yourself, even in the face of obstacles. To shift towards a positive mental attitude, it requires awareness of thoughts, mindfulness practice, and nurturing an optimistic perspective. Our thoughts shape our reality, and the mind has a transformative power. Mental games, identifying the enemy. Every negative thought is like a snake lurking, waiting to strike when we least expect it. However, we can learn to spot them before they get to us. These thoughts often come with feelings of doubt, fear, or insecurity. To recognize them, it's crucial to be aware of our own thought patterns. These negative thoughts can be challenged and replaced with positive ones, reminding us that for every negative thought, there is a positive counterpart. Furthermore, directing attention to the present moment through mindfulness practice can help prevent negative thoughts from taking over. The mind is like a garden, and learning to identify these thoughts is the first step to keeping it healthy. Ancient tools for a clear mind. Within the Stoic tradition, we find valuable tools that provide guidance in the battle against negative thoughts. These practices, with centuries of existence, remain relevant and can lead us towards a clearer and calmer mind. Some of these practices include negative visualization, where we imagine the worst-case scenarios to mentally prepare ourselves, the dichotomy of control, which helps us distinguish what we can and cannot control, the Stoic journal, enabling reflection and self-discovery, memento mori, reminding us of our mortality and the importance of living with purpose, and amor fati, teaching us to accept and love everything that life brings to us. These practices, when applied with intention, can guide us towards a clearer mind and a more meaningful life. Empowering your mindset. In this chapter, modern practices are introduced that complement ancient techniques to strengthen a positive mindset. Some of these practices include unchanged body language, positioning the body more confidently to positively influence the mind. 2. Share thoughts. Talking to someone you trust about disturbing thoughts can be liberating. 3. Brief meditation. Practicing 1-minute meditation to give the mind a break. 4. Positive affirmations. Using affirmations to rewire the mind. 5. Creative activities. Engaging in creative activities to channel mental energies. 6. Take a walk. Going outdoors and walking to gain a new perspective. 7. Daily gratitude. Practicing daily gratitude to focus on the positive. These practices can be easily incorporated into daily life and help maintain a positive and resilient mindset. I hope this journey through the mind and Stoicism practices has been enriching for you, as it has been for me. Remember that true power lies in consistent practice and the conscious choice to maintain a positive and resilient mindset. I want to thank you for joining us on this journey of self-discovery and growth. The Surreal Stoic community is a space to share wisdom, inspiration, and mutual support. If you enjoyed this video and want to keep learning and growing with us, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and become a member of our community. Your support is essential for us to continue exploring together the depths of Stoicism and the human mind. Always remember the wisdom of the ancient Stoics and the strength that exists within each of us to transform our thoughts and our lives. Until the next journey, keep refining your mind and building a more positive, resilient, and meaningful life. Together, we are stronger. Thank you, and see you soon.